Hello, folks. I am Alan for today's news. I will be reading and speaking about world news, interesting news, news to keep you entertained, and news to keep you informed. First thing I got for you here, it's not an article, it's on YouTube. It says, keep them on the phone, keep it on the speaker. Expert on AI phone scams scare. We're going to listen to part of this here.
AI, though, already being used by scammers. An Arizona mother claiming a phone scammer used AI to clone her daughter's voice. The caller demanded a $1 million ransom from Scottsdale resident Jennifer DeStefano with what sounded exactly like her daughter's voice in the background. She could hear her crying and saying, "Help me, Mom." DeStefano says that she was terrified during that call, of course, but later confirmed her daughter was safe on a ski trip at the time. She's now speaking out about her experience with the voice scammer amid a rise in so-called caller ID spoofing schemes. And joining us now is former CIA officer and FBI special agent Tracy Walder to discuss. Hi there, Tracy.
Hey, Natasha.
Explain these types of scams. What makes them so convincing, and are they becoming more common now?
So really what we're seeing is an escalation in these types of scams. First we really started out with not using people's voices, however, using the person and knowing where the person was going to be traveling. And now we're seeing this escalation using voice. And a lot of that is because AI technology is changing. And so really what they used to do was create a synthetic voice, but now they're able to grab people's voices off of social media and really clone theirs. And so that's how it's sounding really so lifelike.
And I mean, oftentimes these scammers are calling family members.
Okay, and you can watch the rest of that on my on YouTube. The link will be in my description box on it. Yeah, the scammers are already using AI to scam people out of money. Let me go to my next one here. Somebody sent me this one here. It says Scott Bennett, CIA, NATO, had 47 labs in former Ukraine developing bioweapons targeting SLAVIC DNA. We're listening to part of this.
سابق جملة غريبة لكنها الحقيقة. تستضيف المنار اليوم سكوت بنت الذي قرر أن يقف في المعسكر المناهض لبلده بعد سجنه لمدة عامين. مواضيع عديدة نطرحها في هذه الحلقة، تابعونا بعد هذا التقرير.
قامه الضابط الأمريكي سكوت بنت لقيادة الجيش حول تمويل الإدارة الأمريكية لداعش. عمل بنت في قيادة العملية تكتيكاتها لإثارة الرعب في العدو. كيف تتبلور وسائل الحرب النفسية في العديد من قضايا المنطقة؟
It doesn't seem like they're speaking English anyway. If you want to watch it, link will be in my description box. And let me go to the next one here. This is from Newsmax. This is from Trump. Biden illegally unleashed his thugs to meddle in election. It says here. Let's see what it says.
Despite myriad judges having warned former President Donald Trump against posting photos of the prosecutors seeking to charge or jail him, Trump did just that again Sunday, boldly saying he's fighting this group of thugs in order to save our country. Trump added the allegation that crooked President Joe Biden and his Attorney General Merrick Garland are behind it all, having illegally unleashed weaponized justice on Biden's political opposition. These are the prosecutors that Merrick Garland and crooked Joe Biden have illegally unleashed on me in order to interfere with the upcoming 2024 election, Trump wrote in a Truth Social post Sunday, which included a four-person collage of New York Attorney General Letitia James, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, Fulton County, Georgia, District Attorney Fani Willis, and Biden DOJ Special Counsel Jack Smith. They don't want me to get the nomination, because they know I won twice, did much better the second time, and am also leading Biden big in the polls. That phrase has been oft repeated in Trump's Save America rallies when denouncing alleged 2020 election fraud. Smith was assigned to investigate the 2020 presidential election challenge by Trump, including the events of January 6 that were investigated by the Democrat-led House in the past Congress, but failed to bear fruit of promises to reveal evidence of incitement of insurrection, something the Senate voted against in an impeachment trial of the former president after he left office in a failed effort to ban him from running in 2024. How would you like simultaneously fighting this group of thugs, radical left Marxists, racists, and lunatics? Trump's statement continued. But it's what I do make America great again, and save our country.
And link will be on that in my description box. That's all it was on it. And let me go to the next one here. This one here is from Newsmax. Tucker Carlson to go nuclear on Fox News.
Tucker Carlson is planning to torch Fox News in an effort to free himself from a contract that blocks him from working at other networks, or to even create a rival network to Fox. There is talk Carlson could get behind a new media enterprise backed by billionaire Elon Musk, who has had conversations with Carlson about a new media company, Axios reported. The idea that anyone is going to silence Tucker and prevent him from speaking to his audience is beyond preposterous, Carlson's Hollywood lawyer Brian Friedman told Axios. Friedman is reportedly working on a settlement for Carlson with Fox News, which is said to have a non-compete roadblock on Carlson's $10 million per year contract that runs until after the 2024 presidential election. The non-compete and non-disparagement clauses in contracts like Carlson's prevent him from working at competitive networks or even criticizing his former network. Fox traditionally has had major talent contracts renew after presidential elections, and that rule seems to have been followed with Carlson's agreement. But Carlson is said to be eager to back on television as soon as possible, according to sources. To do so, he needs to get Fox to waive key provisions of his agreement. There are circumstances where pay-or-play provisions can be challenged, but networks and studios certainly view them as being relatively ironclad, entertainment lawyer Andy Lee, not connected to the Carlson-Fox circumstances, told the New York Times. It's not always just a question of money, because being off the air for an extended period can have an adverse effect on a career. Newsmax is a key competitor to Fox News, and permitting Carlson to take his estimated 3.5 million loyal viewers to a rival is problematic for Fox News, the Times reported. The betting among industry observers is that Fox will continue to pay Carlson his multi-million-dollar contract as long as he sits on the sidelines. Since Carlson departed Fox 2 weeks ago from his 8 p.m. Eastern perch, ratings for Newsmax's Eric Balling the Balance airing at the same time are up over 200%, as the network's overall ratings are up over 100%, according to Nielsen. An agreement that allows Mr. Carlson to appear on a rival news network like Newsmax would be a considerable concession from Fox, according to the Times report. In any agreement, Fox would most likely insist on prohibiting Mr. Carlson from joining a cable news competitor, said a person familiar with how negotiations with big Fox stars have unfolded in the past.
Okay, you can read the rest of this in my description box. So I'm going to play on that one there. Let's go to the next one here. Next one here from Business Insider. The Russian military is trying to recruit Central Asian migrant workers to fight in Ukraine to avoid another mandatory mobilization, UK Intel says.
Russia is attempting to recruit Central Asian migrants to fight in Ukraine, UK intelligence said. They are reportedly being enticed with high payments and offers of a fast track to Russian citizenship. Russia is likely trying to avoid another mandatory mobilization to minimize domestic anger. The conflict has The Russian military is trying to recruit Central Asian migrant workers in the country to fight in Ukraine, according to a UK Ministry of Defence intelligence update posted on Twitter Monday. Recruiters have visited mosques and immigration offices, where staff who speak Tajik and Uzbek attempt to recruit migrants, the update said. The statement cited the US government-funded Radio Free Europe, which reported that migrants are being enticed with high payments and offers of a fast track to Russian citizenship, within 6 months to 1 year, compared with the usual wait of 5 years, in exchange for joining the military.
So first he was using prisoners to fight for him, Putin was, and now he's going to use migrants to fight for him. And, you know, it's a lose-lose situation. You go, you get killed, and you're done. Anyway, let me go to the next one. This one here is from KSDK TV St. Louis. Meijer proposed a second St. Louis area store before the first opens in Metro East.
A major big box retailer new to the St. Louis market has proposed its second store in the region, even before the first opens. Meijer, a Grand Rapids, Michigan-based retailer that operates supercenter stores carrying general merchandise and groceries, submitted plans to the city of O'Fallon, Illinois, for a new store, even as the retailer's first St. Louis area store is under construction in Glen Carbon. The company is proposing to locate a 159,670 square foot Meijer store at the corner of North Greenmount Road and Pierce Boulevard in O'Fallon, near Interstate 64 HSHS St. Elizabeth's Hospital and existing big box retail such as Menards. The Meijer Supercenter would have a grocery store, a home department, a pharmacy, and a store pickup area, according to renderings submitted to the city.
Yeah, I'll pronounce the name of that store wrong. It's Meijer, it's not Major. Anyway, it says St. Louis area, but it's over in Illinois, and they never had any Meijer stores over here ever, so it's something new. Let me go to the next one here. This from Fox News. Abbott says Biden sending 1,500 troops to border to do paperwork after putting out welcome mats to the world.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott blasted President Biden's move to send 1,500 troops to the southern border, saying the president is sending soldiers to fill out paperwork and not enough to realistically secure the border. The Republican governor appeared on Fox News Sunday to address the chaos at the U.S.-Mexico border ahead of expiring pandemic-era Title 42 policies, which have allowed U.S. officials to turn away tens of thousands of migrants crossing the southern border. Only when Biden came in and eliminated all those Trump-era policies and put out a welcome mat to the entire world that the border is now open, that we suddenly have the chaos that's caused solely by policies put into place by Joe Biden, Abbott said. The governor slammed Biden's decision to move troops as a day late and tens of thousands of soldiers too few. Biden defends sending. President Trump sent soldiers to the border to secure the border, Abbott said. President Biden is sending 1,500 quote soldiers to do paperwork. That is not going to secure the border. We need 15,000 or 150,000 to secure the border because of the open border policies of the Biden administration.
And there's more to read on that if you want to read the rest of it, but I told you before, they're just sending these soldiers to be secretaries, you know. Anyway, let me go to the next one. This one here is from The Hill. Iran concealed weapons and earthquake aid to hit U.S. troops. Discard leaks, says report.
A new leak found that Iran concealed weapons within earthquake aid to Syria to target U.S. troops, the Washington Post reported. A new leak of U.S. documents that circulated on the online platform Discord and obtained by the Post appear to show that Iran hid military equipment in aid shipments to Syria after the region was hit by an earthquake in February. According to the leaked assessment, the military equipment hidden in shipments included small arms, ammunition, and drones. The reported documents said that the deliveries were made through vehicle convoys from Iran in collaboration with local militant groups there and the Quds Force, which is a branch of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corporation. The Post also reported that the documents stated that the Quds Force officer directed an Iraqi militia group to embed weapons within legitimate earthquake aid. The document suggested that the Popular Mobilization Committee, Chief of Staff, was involved in the shipments, although the group, which is an umbrella organization of militias, has denied the allegations, the Post reported. A senior official in Iraq Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani's office told the Post that findings from the documents were fake. In reality, the borders are wide open. In fact, we are still suffering from illegals sneaking through the Syrian border, the official told the Post. Which means if these documents are right, it's possible any time. Why wait for an aid convoy as a justification?
Okay, what they're saying that the aid they send to earthquake victim has ammunitions in it and stuff, but then Iran said, you know, it doesn't. So let's go to the next one. This from Daily Mail. Joe Biden's bribery allegation were brought to the DOJ in 2018.
Bud Cummins brought forward a bribery allegation involving Joe Biden in 2018. A U.S. attorney, Cummins says, never responded and investigated him in 2019. The former federal prosecutor called it perverse to do such a thing. A former federal prosecutor brought forward a bribery allegation involving Joe Biden and an unnamed foreign national back in 2018, a full 2 years before charges were brought by a whistleblower now speaking to the House Oversight Committee. Bud Cummins, a former federal prosecutor, made the accusation to U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York Jeff Berman back on October 4, 2018, dating to Biden's term as vice president, according to interviews and documents obtained by Just the News. He wrote Berman an email claiming to have evidence President Biden exercised influence to protect son Hunter's Ukrainian employers in exchange for payments to both father and son as well as Hunter's friend and business partner Devon Archer. Cummins claimed that then Ukrainian Prosecutor General Yuri Lutsenko had wanted to go to the United States to meet him and could give Berman 2 anonymous witnesses to back up the allegations. I can't really imagine a legitimate reason for the DOJ not to follow up on an offer like that. I felt like it was stonewalled, said Cummins. It doesn't make much sense to investigate the guy who brings you the allegation rather than the allegation, he added.
Okay, I'm going to stop it here. There's more to read. And let's go to the next one here. This one here from Fox News. Missouri Attorney General blames St. Louis progressive DA for city reaching crisis point. And I'm not going to do that one there. Yeah, St. Louis is having a fight. I'm going to delete that one. Okay, this one here from CNBC. Oil's sharp slide has surprised markets, but some traders now see a bottom for prices.
The plunge in oil prices will bottom out soon with a more significant pickup in subsequent quarters, some analysts forecast. Oil prices saw their 3rd consecutive weekly decline last week, marking the longest losing run this year. Brent had slipped 8% year-to-date by last Friday. On Wednesday, the benchmark posted a close of $72.33, marking the lowest since December 2021, according to data from Refinitiv. On a similar vein, West Texas Intermediate has seen an 11% year-to-date fall. The recent slide in oil prices is starting to bottom out, according to analysts who predict that a more significant pickup in the coming quarters is in the cards. Oil prices saw their 3rd consecutive weekly decline last week, marking the longest losing run this year. However, that may soon come to pass, according to some market watchers. Now it definitely feels like they're at the bottom. There are multiple signs of that, said Citi's global head of commodities research Ed Morse. Inventories built a lot during the first and second months of the year, and then they've come off. So that's part of figuring that it's at the bottom. He added that markets are currently facing the impact of OPEC+'s recent production cuts, and the world is moving into a higher demand season. Last month, the oil cartel announced it was slashing output by 1.16 million barrels per day. The cuts came into effect in May and will run until the end of 2023. The production declines prompted some analysts to warn prices could surge to triple digits, which failed to materialize. We're looking more positively at the second and third quarter than what's happened in the first quarter, Morse said. Financial services company ANZ also believes that the oil slump could bottom out soon, with global oil demand set to grow by 2 million barrels per day, keeping the market undersupplied throughout 2023. OPEC+ output cuts and a rebound in China's demand will likely offset slower demand elsewhere. Therefore, we expect prices to bottom out soon, the bank wrote in a research report dated May 8. Similarly, Goldman Sachs has maintained its forecasts for a higher crude oil price tag. Our forecast remains that Brent rises to $95 per barrel by December and $100 per barrel by April 2024 as we expect large deficits in H2, the investment bank stated in a report released over the weekend. Global benchmark Brent traded 1.74% higher at $76.61 a barrel Monday, while the U.S. West Texas Intermediate futures stood 1.92% at $72.71 per barrel. Oil's sharp slide. Brent had slipped 8% year-to-date by last Friday. On Wednesday, the benchmark posted a close of $72.33, marking the lowest since December 2021, according to data from Refinitiv. On a similar vein, West Texas Intermediate has seen an 11% year-to-date fall. The slip in prices is attributed to a confluence of economic concerns. Last Wednesday, the U.S. Federal Reserve hiked interest rates by 0.25 percentage point, raising investors' concerns that slower economic growth could dent energy demand. Pressure from anti-inflationary action undertaken by both the US Fed and the ECB, European Central Bank, have resulted in lackluster demand growth for most of the OECD, with recession risks lying ahead, Morse wrote in an email. Additionally, a surprise contraction in China's April manufacturing activity also threw a shade of doubt over the recovery of the country's commodity demand. The narrative that oil markets will tighten later this year because of rising Chinese demand is being challenged, Commonwealth Bank of Australia wrote in a daily note dated May 8. A tightening oil market in H2 2023 will now rely more heavily on OPEC+, particularly Russia, CBA's Vivek Dhar wrote. And Moscow's oil production has proved more resilient than expected. Russia's oil production and exports have been resilient despite their announcement production cut of 500,000 barrels per day, said Kong Wu, S&P's head of global demand and Asia analytics. The recent slide is reminiscent of the downside volatility in March and forces an evaluation of whether or not the OPEC will deliver another Saudi-led cut, Mizuho's Vishnu Varathan wrote in a note dated May 8.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. There's only 2 short paragraphs left. What they're saying is that this is the lowest price we're going to see for right now, and it's going to start going up. They didn't say when it's going to go up, though. Let's see. They say last quarter or something like that. Anyway, the link will be in my description box and go over it. Let's go to the next one. This is from KTVI TV out of St. Louis. It said the Postal Service wants you to leave food at your mailbox on May 13th. Here's why.
Shreveport, Louisiana, KPL. The largest food drive in the United States has been held in 10,000 cities and towns across 50 states for 30 years, and donating food is as easy as leaving non-perishable food items next to your mailbox. The National Association of Letter Carriers food drive began as a discussion in 1991, when NALC leaders and Postmaster General Anthony Frank began to conceptualize a food drive to feed the hungry in 10 American cities. The first drive was so successful that plans to make it a nationwide effort began immediately. Suggestions from food banks and pantries helped the NALC determine that late spring is when food banks need supplies the most, as they are beginning to run out of Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday donations. USPS aims to only buy electric delivery vehicles from 2026 on. The second Saturday in May, 1993 saw all 50 states participate, and the results were astounding. A record-breaking 11+ million pounds of food were collected in one day.
And there's more to read on that if you want to read it. What I really want to show you is right here. No. Yeah. I thought they had a video. Anyway, stamps supposed to be going up in July. There was a video here somewhere. Yeah, right here.
Meanwhile, the Postal Service plans to increase the price of a stamp to 66 cents in July, and this is all part of a 5.4% overall increase from current first-class mail rates. Now, that hike is the full amount authorized under the mailing agency's rate-setting authority. This would also mark the latest of several significant increases under Postmaster General Louis DeJoy. The USPS says the change was necessary to keep pace with inflation. USPS is losing significantly more money this year, and than it anticipated. It was $2.1 billion in the red as of the month of February.
Okay, that's all I got on that one there. So buy your forever stamps now before they go up. And that was my last one too. So, okay, I know it wasn't great news today, but I'll try to find whatever I can. And don't forget to like, subscribe, at least come back once in a while. And until next time, thanks for watching. Later.